Hey guys, so today I am doing a quick video on moving to New Zealand. It's going to be a little bit similar to the Australia video, but I am just going to have a few chats because I'm only here 3 weeks. This is the end of my third week, so I don't have much insight on the place yet, but it's mainly a kind of a guide on how I went about moving, like what you need to get started and all of that kind of crack. So yeah, it's just going to be a quick, it's not going to be as long as the Australia video because obviously I had been in Australia for like 10 months or something when I actually did that video. First of all, I am going to talk about the visa. So I applied for my visa only 3 weeks before I moved here, which was probably a bit short notice, but it was fine. I applied from Australia. It was like $225, would probably work out at about €160. Take that with a pinch of salt now. You're probably going to have to double check it to know the actual currency exchange rate, but yeah, it was in and around that. My flights were cheaper than my visa, so it's $225. Obviously then before you book your flights you're going to have to decide where in New Zealand you want to go. So Auckland is probably one of the major main cities to come to, but of course there's Christchurch, there's Wellington, Queenstown, but it used to depend on whether you're going to go to the North Island or the South Island. Both of them are very pretty, but in their own ways, you know. So I just decided I want to do both. So I'm going to do 5 months in North Island and 5 months in the South Island because I'm not going to stay here for the whole 12 months. But then in the North Island, your main towns are Auckland and Wellington are on the North Island, and Queenstown and Christchurch are on the South Island. Okay, so there's a few differences between the North Island and the South Island. Mainly the North Island is kind of known for it's got hot springs and the geothermal pools, and it's got fabulous beaches. The coastline in the North Island is more holiday kind of white sand, really pretty. Then the South Island is kind of a lot of national parks, volcanoes. Now saying that, Auckland has I think it's 11 volcanoes or something and more. It's basically built on a volcanic field, but it hasn't nothing has erupted in 600 years or something. The South Island is actually meant to be prettier in terms of areas to be. There's a lot of the Southern Alps are down there. It's got the lakes and mountains. It's really pretty. But yeah, you just decide where you want to go obviously before you're going booking any flights. I just picked Auckland because it was what I knew most, I suppose, from the North Island, and it's kind of based at the top so I can work my way down. And I just booked the flight from Sydney, so it was obviously it was cheap, but I booked it on Skyscanner as usual. $178. The flight was 3 hours. I think it was 2 hours ahead of time, of Australian time, but it was a 3-hour flight. Now with that I flew with Jetstar, and I got my 30 kg, and you were allowed to buy extra, so I bought 40 kg, which was still not enough because I was moving a whole year build up worth of stuff from Sydney as well, so I ended up having 48 kg. So the only thing about Jetstar is they allow you to buy 40 kg online. They will not allow you to buy any more than that, which is not really fair, because if you know that you're taking more, you should be able to buy it before you get to the airport, because at the airport they charge you per kg. So it's $25 per kg, so I ended up paying another $200 on top of everything at the airport. My baggage fees were dearer than my flight, you know. You obviously get you get a 7 kg carry-on, and I bought a 10 kg one. And then you take on your rucksack or whatever, which is your handbag. Now you can sort out your bank accounts online before you come. I opened up my bank account with BNZ, which to be honest I wouldn't do again because it was just a bit of arsing around before I got it done. Now if I was to do it again, I would probably do it with ANZ because they were in Australia, so I would have been able to set it up faster without the hassle of trying to get your proof of address and all that kind of silliness, you know. It's really annoying these countries make it really hard for people to set up accounts. Now I know like if you're proper like only backpacking around place, you're not going to be setting up accounts in every country you go to. Like most people like have their international cards and they like transfer money from their banks onto those cards. But it's just when you're living here for a year or more, you're not like you're going to need a bank account to get paid into, etc. So yeah, I got my bank card posted out to me, and yeah, it's working away fine now, but like it was just a bit of a hassle at the start. You are able to get your tax number before you enter the country, but you need to make sure that you have your bank account details and all of that done first. I didn't sort out my tax number until I got here, and I just did it through the bank because it was done really quickly. And again, I transferred money to a currency fair. Now you only do get one free fee-free transfer, and then every other one after that is charged a fee, but it's a lot of it, like it's a really cheap fee comparing to what you would get charged by banks. So say transferring like, it doesn't, I don't know, I don't think it depends on how much you're transferring, but like it was only like $4 or $5 transfer fee. Like I know that might be money to some people, but like it's better than paying like $15 with a bank, you know. Of course, if you have another email address you could use, you could set up a new one again. Phone providers, I went with Vodafone because again, it's all I know. I've always used it and it's always worked for me. Now New Zealand phone providers their deals are quite crap for data. Like on any plan, on any provider that I have looked up, the maximum data you can get is 4 gigabytes. Like there's no like this getting 20 gigs or anything, but the usage is smaller. So I'm on my 3rd week now and I have just run out of data. But what you do is you go into your Vodafone shop, you get your SIM card, and you can register it online, so you can choose your plan online. Like it's only prepay one now. I don't do bill pay, but it was $20 top up, so you get your calls, like I don't know, however many international calls, 500 texts, and like say 2 gigs of data I picked because I was like I don't need it because, well, you get a choice of a pass, so you pay $10 for this pass. So you can pick a music pass, which will cover like your Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, all of that kind of crap. You can pick a social pass, which is the one I picked, and it was my social pass was Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Pinterest. Then your video pass is like WhatsApp, Viber, Messenger, and FaceTime, I think. And then you have entertainment pass, which is Netflix and any other kind of streaming services like that. So I got social pass anyway because that's what I use most of my data on. So I was like, the extra data, like the only time I ever use my extra data is for maps. So I'm like 2 gigabytes is loads because the usage is so little. So Vodafone actually worked out pretty well. It's $30, which is actually cheaper. Like, well, it's not really because I was paying $35 in Sydney, but I was getting my 20 gigs or whatever. But again, it's the usage difference that's making it all the different. When I moved here, I cancelled my Netflix and my Spotify accounts, so I'm trying to save as much as I can. But I'm using the family's Netflix account, and I just have my own profile in it, whatever. And I'm just living without Spotify at the moment because I need to get home for Christmas. And then flight tips, same crack as usual. Bring on a face mask, bring a bit of moisturizer, make sure you're comfortable. I have, instead of getting, you know, those like really big, they're not really big, but like, you know, those neck pillows that you can get, you can actually get ones that you can blow up now. I know they mightn't sound that comfortable, but like they are. I got one sent to me by Interrail because I went Interrail last year, so they send you out like a little goodie bag kind of after you've done it. And I've used it a couple of times, and it's so handy because like when the flight is nearly finished, you can squeeze the air thing and let all the air out and like fold it up and put it into your bag, and it like folds up like to this size, like it's tiny. So it's so handy, and it's handy for people that are backpacking anyway, because obviously you need less is more. Other flight tips, there's nothing really. It's only a 3-hour flight. It's nothing. Like, if you're excited to go, you're going to stay awake. If you're like me, you're going to go to sleep. Like, I think I slept for probably 2 out of the 3 hours. I can't remember if we got food, because I actually think I probably might have slept through it. But I'm presuming there was like, you know, the usual snack trolley kind of thing. And then, yeah, if you are moving, make sure you move your phone region, your Netflix region, your Spotify. It'll all, like, they'll all notify you to do it anyway, but just to move them all to New Zealand time and region, because they don't, like, they'll stop working after a certain amount of days. Like, your Spotify starts working after like 7 days. Your Netflix, I think, lasts a month. And your phone, I think you should just do it. I know it will automatically do it when you're updating it, but you should just do it straight away, because just to get everything in gear. But I think when you swap your SIM card anyway, it automatically changes to the country that you're in. Packing, I'm out of tips for packing, because the struggle that I had to pack for New Zealand was insane, because it wasn't like coming from home and I got to pick and choose what I could keep and what I could leave there. It was like, I have all of this stuff, I either am going to throw it away and never see it again, or I need to like lug it all to New Zealand with me. So I was like, fuck, like like what am I going to do? So I bought my packing cubes, and I had 2 big cases, like, and I had them full up, and I was like, there's still, like, you know, those like random bits that you have that you just don't know where to put them. There's no organizing for them. It's like they're just random shit, like. So I ended up just fucking all them in. But do you know what weighed me down most was my makeup. And I swear, lads, if there's any of you moving from home, like, just lay back on the makeup, because between the fact that Australia and New Zealand do not wear like big dramatic faces like we do at home, or the fact that you just do not need that much. Like, literally sit yourself down. Like, if you're like me now, I have cases full of fucking makeup, so I'm like, I want it all with me. I might need this, and blah blah blah. But right, what you need to do, sit yourself down, get out your makeup bag, and like think of how you get ready for a night out, and think of how you get ready for a day, like for an interview or something. Just once you have those two, you'll have a bit of a balance. So you'll have your neutral, natural makeup for like day makeup for an interview or whatever, and your full coverage makeup for a night out. And like set aside your whatever, your primers and your illuminators, your foundation, your concealers, your powders, bronzers, blushers, eyeshadows, etc. And like set it all aside in one bag and have one of everything. You do not need, like, there are shops here, like, if you run out of something, you can buy something. Like, there's just no need to be bringing it all with you, because it's just so much weight. And like, lads, palettes, you just get a palette that you think will do you everything. Like, the Sosu X Kaylee palette is ideal, like, because it has your colours and your neutrals. Or the LMD palette from Be Perfect, that's ideal. There's probably a few of those that you'll have a mixture, like, of nudes and a pop of colour. And get something small and handy like that, because you just don't need all of the shit that you think you do. Don't bring a palette full of highlighters, like, just bring one pen of highlighter. Like, it's just little things like that, swapping palettes for just single things, like, because it's just you, and it's different when you're at home and you've got a table full of makeup and you need all of this. You don't need it, like, you don't. And like, don't be bringing like pots of fucking pigment and everything with you. Like, I have a whole bag, I have about 40 pigments with me, and I don't think I have opened them since I got here, because when you're going out, like, you just don't end up going with the whole dramatic look, because nobody does it over here. You don't feel the need to. So yeah, just tone down the makeup bit, and your bag will weigh less, and it will work out cheaper, and it's definitely worth it, because you're not going to need it. That's all my tips for packing, really. Shoes, narrow down your shoes. I've got 10,000 pairs of shoes inside there that I do not need. I wear my Adidas Superstars every day. I have my Converse inside there, I have my Vans inside there, I have my Reeboks inside there, I have another pair of Adidas inside there. I have sandals, I have sliders. I literally like do not wear any of them. Now, fair enough, during summer I wear the sliders, so I'm like, yeah, okay, I have 4 pairs of them and I live in them when it's hot. But for sightseeing, get one nice comfy pair of shoes. Get like a pair of Nike Roshes or a pair of Adidas Superstars, or another pair, like they don't have to be Superstars or Roshes, but like a nice pair that are kind of fashiony but comfortable, that you're going to be able to do your sightseeing, you're going to be able to do your walks in them, and a few pairs of sliders. That's all you need. Like, you do not need. And if you're somebody that wears like flats on a night out, something, like bring your pair of Converse or your kind of half dressy flats that you wear. Like that's why I have my Converse, like, is because that's what I would wear going out, because I don't wear anything else. Obviously you're not going to be able to go out in a pair of Superstars. Interviews, lads, bring clothes for interviews. Like, nobody ever thinks of this. And bring shoes. Like, you might have your whole interview outfit and then you're going to be there with a pair of trainers. Like, no, like, bring a pair of pumps or a little pair of heels, like whatever you want, but just make sure that you bring something. Try bring like 1 pair of heels, maybe 2, like a nude pair and a black pair, something that will go with everything. If you're more of a nude person and you don't wear black, then just bring nude. Don't bring low, like this. You go to Kmart and you buy a pair of black kitten heels, like for interviews or whatever, and you buy them for like $12. Do you know? Like, as in, you don't need to be lugging shit that you don't need. Do you know? And like, don't be bringing like all your body creams and like perfumes and moisturizers. Like, just get them over here. Like, fair enough, if you have an expensive perfume that you want to bring, you bring that with you. But like, all that's kind of everyday stuff, like the moisturizers and the shower gel and shampoos, buy them when you get here. Like, do not be lugging shit with you that you do not need. Okay, away from packing anyway. Car, I haven't started out my car yet. If you're on a learner license, sort it out at home before you come over here. If you're coming from Sydney on a learner license, start it out in Australia before you come here, because everything is simpler in Australia. Like, New Zealand is way stricter on things. I'm still in the middle of trying to start out my license. I was driving the first day that I arrived in fucking Australia, and now I'm like here 3 weeks twiddling my thumbs, still no fucking car. I have the car outside, I have no license, because they're still processing it, and I'm just like, really, like, so yeah, just get all that kind of crap done before you leave home, or before you leave Australia or wherever you're coming from. It's always easier to do it in your home country because there's less hassle than sending it across the world, you know. Then renting, again, I never look on like official websites or anything. It's all like, go on Facebook. Like, groups are huge over this side of the world. Like, groups for everything. There's fucking groups for makeup artists, for freelance makeup artists. There's groups for flat shares, for rooms for rent, for apartments, for houses, for work, for au pairs, for meetups. There is literally a group for everything. Groups for Irish people. So just join a few groups for flats and room shares and all that. And when you look them up, like underneath in like the little grey writing, it'll tell you how many posts a week go up. So if it's like 10 plus, then that's the one you want to like join. Don't join the one that says there's like 3 posts a week, because you want the ones that are like updating all the time, so you'll have deals that are coming up all of the time. So yeah, they're in and around the room is like between 200 and 300. I'm gonna say 250 for an average like double bedroom inside in the city, and this is only in Auckland now, so obviously everywhere is different. Au pairing, honestly, don't want to even talk about au pairing anymore. I'm coming out of it, but I came here through an agency. So agencies, the reasons that you should be going with an agency and that I should have been doing it from the start, right? Number 1, you get your payslip every week saying that you've earned X amount a week. You get your board in your room, whatever, taken off of you, and you get taxed, which I know is awful now, but like you're going to be able to claim tax back in June or July, whatever the month is. Whereas when you're going privately, they're paying you your $220 every week, and that's it. You don't get any tax back at the end of the year. Like, I know that's including your room and rent or whatever, but it's just nice to have a pay slip set out, seeing how much you're getting hourly and seeing that you're actually earning a good wage every week, that like it is. And like I've worked it out, because I was trying to be like, okay, like coming out with $220 at the end of the week is absolutely shocking. But when you look at my pay slip, it's like I earn $619 a week. So that makes me feel like, okay, I'm actually doing a job. Like, I'm actually getting paid hourly. Like, you know, I get like $310 taken off of me for a room. Right, so I have a double room, which is $250 in the city. So that's leaving me with $60 of extra pay, which is going to cover all of my food. I eat all of my meals here, and the use of the car for personal and work use. They top up the petrol for work use during the week in your own time. Like, you put petrol in it at the weekend if you're taking it somewhere. But like, it's ideal. Like, as in the $60, sure, you're going to spend another at least $80 on shopping for yourself. And then if you're running a car as well, you're going to have probably about $50 petrol put into it every week to 10 days, depending on how much you're using it and how far you're using it. And then on top of that, you're going to be paying for like your rego every, whatever, is it 6 months or a year, depends on what you're having on it. But like, it's working out pretty much the same. Like, I know I could be going for a higher paying job, which would be more ideal, but for the moment, yeah, it's working out. Like, not loving it, but it's working out. It's settling for the moment, because I have no other choice. But I won't be here for long, hopefully. That's kind of all I have to say on au pairing. Just go for an agency. I'm with Au Pair Link. Now, they are quite strict. They expect you, if you haven't au paired before, they will send you to an orientation class where you will just get the basics on what is done. They'll send you for a first aid course. They'll go through your driving with you over here if you're driving on the opposite side of the road. All of that, like, they will go through everything with you. Now, I didn't have to do an orientation class, obviously, but I had to do the first aid class, which is great. Like, I don't care. Like, first aid is always a plus to have, like, especially when you're minding kids. Food shops, I don't know how expensive they are. Countdown over here is similar to Woolworths in Australia, which is similar to your general Tesco in Ireland. Pack and Save is the cheapest, but I haven't been there because I haven't had to buy my own food, so I literally haven't had to go to the supermarket. Pack and Save is the cheapest, but this family does Countdown. Traffic controlling, if you're going to traffic controlling over here, the demand is quite high, but again, it's a very flexible job. Like, as in, there might be 2 days work for you 1 week and you might have 7 days work the next week, so it's kind of, it's a tough one. But the tickets are a bit more expensive than Australia. The combo course is $600. I think it's $600, and then you have to obviously get your gear, which is another, I don't know, I haven't looked up how much the gear is, but pretty sure it's probably similar enough to Australia, which is about, like, you can go into Kmart. There's Kmart here as well, which is fucking great, because I'm like, oh my god, I miss Penneys so much. Kmart is like the next best thing. So I had it in Australia and I was coming to New Zealand, I was like, please tell me that they have Kmart, because like, they don't have Inglot over here. They don't have Priceline or Boots. Boots is Irish and English. Priceline is like the equivalent of Boots. I haven't found an equivalent of that here. I think Farmers is the name of a place that's kind of like a bit of a makeup department store. It's the closest thing to it anyway. There's a website that I will link underneath. It is, I don't know, it's a backpacker guide or backpacking around New Zealand or something like that. I'll link it underneath anyway. that has everything you need to know. It has between how to set up a bank account, how to write a CV, how to apply for jobs. It lists jobs that are available. It literally has everything that you need to know. So if you just want to go on there and check that out. Okay, we're at half an hour now, so I'm done because my last video was like 50 minutes and I don't need to be talking that much. Bugs. Oh yeah, one more thing before I go. There are no snakes here. There are no crazy ass big spiders here. There is nothing that can kill you. So that is a huge plus for New Zealand and a huge minus for Australia. Now saying that, like, there's mosquitoes. It hasn't hit mosquito season yet, so I haven't gotten my bites yet. But if you are like me and you flare up with mosquito bites, then still have no answer. I must get that mosquito bite pin that Steph My Life was on about, but I haven't gotten it yet. So if you've got anything else in the meantime, please share. Lastly, climate wise, it is a little bit colder in Australia. Now it's coming into springtime now, so it's been raining this morning, but it's like blue sky right now. So it's a mix of everything at the moment, but it's getting warmer. Like, we're at the end of September, so by the end of October, like, it's gonna be sunny, but it's gonna be a nice heat for summer. Like, they only reach like mid-30s. I'm saying only now when I'm coming from Ireland, and like we're reaching like mid-20s maximum. But I got so used to like Sydney's weather, but it's a little bit more south, so obviously it's a little bit south of the equator, so the heat is a little like less intense, but it's a nice heat. So let's hope I enjoy the summer, and that's kind of all I have to say. If you're moving to New Zealand, best of luck with it. I hope everything goes well for you. It is hard moving on your own and moving away from your whole life, but just do it. Just do it, and it will surprise you how much you learn from it, how much you grow from it, how much you appreciate home for it. Like, you'll change, and it'll be the best thing you ever do. Like, you'll either love it or you hate it. Give it a chance. My advice is get past 3 months. Like, if you get past the first 3 months on your own, you can do anything. Like, obviously there's going to be hard times when there's events at home, when there's weddings, and like, touch wood, there's no funerals, but when there's funerals, or when there is a new baby born, or a friend's birthday, or Christmas, like, these kind of things are always going to be tough times. But like, if there's something really, really special that only happens once in a lifetime, like if there is a wedding day that like is somebody that you really, really like, you need to, like, you're really close with, then save up and go home for it, or try and actually book your flights before you leave home, just so that you'll know that you don't have to be saving for them. Christmas, I reckon everybody can do with one Christmas away from home, just to see what it's like living somewhere else and see how they celebrate Christmas. Christmas, no, saying that, is the hardest time. Like, I'm going home for Christmas this year because I couldn't do it again, but you should try it once, just see how you like it. Depends if you're the type of person for partying all day and not having the big Christmas family dinner. Like, if you're okay with chilling on the beach and drinking for the day, like, go for it, like, because you will enjoy it so much. But I am way too quiet for that. Yeah, that's me. Okay, I'm done now. I'm gonna stop talking, and yeah, best luck in all your travels, and I will see you later.